Hey, happy April! How did we get here in the 4th month already of the year? Oh my God. Now I'm coming to you live on a Tuesday because today is a Tuesday morning meeting with myself because we had the Easter Bunny. The Easter Bunny was here and I had such a lovely Easter. I hope you had a lovely Easter. I've had the most amazing time doing kind of not much, which has just been glorious. And I love that when I've been giving myself permission to have a bit of space, because I kind of exhausted myself writing my book and getting that all done quite rapidly. I'm into rapid. And then I thought, right now I need some space because as of mid-May, so I have 6 weeks between now and mid-May when my new book comes out, and I'm really trying to pace myself and get some good stuff in. So I've been very deliberate with my planning and deliberate with giving myself Easter off. So I decided I would do whatever I wanted. Whatever the fuck I wanted was my theme for Easter. So I just kind of went with whatever I wanted, right? Now, sometimes that means I want to work because I actually love working. Love it. Fucking love it. You know, my kids used to say when I was little, "Oh, are you working?" And I say, "No, I'm leasing." Right? I am leasing because I love to lease. This is what I do. It's what I'm on the bloody planet to do. Now, I also love being creative. So I've been sort of doing a smattering of bits and bobs, lots of cooking, quite a bit of eating, have to be honest. And I've been being very creative. I've been sewing my little fingers to the bone. Oh, do you know, one of my favourite things to do? I love to embellish. Embellish should be my middle name. I should be Lisa Embellish O'Neill. I do love an embellishment. So I've been embellishing. I've got a large, about 25 litres actually, if we're honest, of embellishments that I've collected over the years because my daughters used to dance and I've always been a bit of a magpie. So I have lots of shiny things. And then occasionally I just like to stick them onto things. So I've been embellishing. I've been embellishing some sweatshirts, you know, with gorgeous things. I don't like wearing plain things. I like things to be a little bit embellished. So I've been doing a bit of embellishing, bit of beading, bit of hand sewing. Oh my God, I've had so much fun and I've been really creative and I'm going to carry that on. So I'm going to do a day of creative stuff a week. I'm going to create a day a week for the next 6 weeks. And so in my space time, my time that I've got before I go crazy busy, some of you will have seen I've got this tour. I'm doing a tour of Australia and New Zealand. Oh my God. I think we're up to about 16 locations and we've still got more to add, where I'm going to be whipping around the country doing these awesome events, which I'm so excited about. But it's going to be quite a busy old time. So I'm thinking I need to get some space in here at the moment where I'm connecting with gorgeous people and making things, the things I won't have time for in May, June and July, because May, June and July are going to be very book dedicated. And then August, September is very big conferencey time where I have lots of gorgeous big speaking and great, issues, things. What am I called? Speaking appointments. I don't even know what the word is. I'm just doing speaking shit, at the conferences. Oh, I love it. So I'll be doing that in August and September. So that's pretty much the year fucked, isn't it? But anyway, focusing on this week, I'm like, well, Monday's gone because Monday was, just sort of watching movies and doing not much, walking on the beach, washed the dog. There you go. That was fucking Monday. So Tuesday, I'm like, well, I've got lots of lovely mentoring appointments and I just love the people I mentor because when I mentor people, I sort of take them on as they become into my inner circle and I sort of think about them and worry about them and I create options. I love it. So I've got a couple of really yummy people to mentor this week, which is quite gorgeous. And I've got some projects to finish with my sewing. And I had a wonderful conversation recently with a guy I was working with about a book called The Comfort Crisis. Now, I can't remember who it's by, but it's called The Comfort Crisis. And it's about embracing discomfort to reclaim your wild and healthy self. Oh, doesn't that sound gorgeous? Reclaiming your wild and healthy self. So that's about taking on things, getting out of your comfort zone, taking on things that you don't necessarily think you can succeed at. And apparently it's all about attempting something you have a less than 50% chance of being successful at. Isn't that interesting? When was the last time you took on something that you have a less than 50% chance? I'm not sure when I can remember that. Can't remember that. I did a big hike once and I thought I had a less than 50% chance, but I didn't because my husband was with me and he was amazing and very supportive, and I had guides, tramping guides, and, fucking all this stuff. So wasn't really going to fail that, was I? But there were times when my body just went, nah, don't want to do this, I thought, nah. But I'm really interested in that as a concept. And so I've been out of my comfort crisis. I'm knitting. I haven't knitted for a very long time, and I didn't think I was a good knitter. And so it turns out, I buggered it up. I was doing some knitting the other night while watching a movie with Japanese subtitles. Well, there was holes in the knitting. So I had to march it down to my mother. I felt like I was 11 years old, and I had to say, my mother growled and said, you've got a big fucking hole here. She had to fix it all, unravel it, and I had to start again. So now I can only knit. I have a very good chance of succeeding in knitting if I concentrate. I have a very bad chance of succeeding at knitting if I'm distracted. And then, I said to one of my daughters, I don't know if I'm very good at this knitting. And she said, Mum, I think you're really good at knitting. I just think you're really shit at concentrating. I thought, fuck, that's quite true, isn't it? So I am good at knitting. I'm bad at concentrating. I think that, someone with ADHD, that makes sense, doesn't it? But anyway, so I'm embracing my creativity. I've got treasures I'm going to finish. I've got treasures. It reminds me of Elizabeth Gilbert's book, Big Magic. If you haven't read that book, oh my God, it should be government funded. And she talks about creative living. It's not about necessarily being creative. It's about being creative in your thought, not necessarily about sewing or knitting and that. But, being and having the courage to bring forth the treasures within you. Oh, don't you love that? The treasures. So I'm going to be bringing forth some treasures. I'm doing knitting. I'm doing all kinds of things that I'm not sure I can do very well. I'm taking on some sexy sewing projects. Get on the Instagram, Lisa ONZ, if you're not following me on Instagram, because there's going to be some sexy things appearing very soon when I'm out of my comfort crisis, sewing all kinds of trickiness. So that's exciting. I've got lunch with one of my very oldest and dearest, bestest friends this week. I'm so excited. I've been friends with Cindy since I was 4. Do you know when I was 4 years old, my father sold my trampoline, and he sold it to Cindy's father, and I met Cindy, and my father drove off with the trailer and I stayed and played on the trampoline, and we became friends. And, we've been friends 49 years. Can you believe that? Anyway, her daughter's going overseas, and I said, you'll be sad. Your baby is leaving the nest and she's off on her big OE. So I said, you know what, I'm going to come on down and she said, why? I said, I'm just going to take you out for lunch. She said, I'll be sad. I said, well, who better to be sad with than your bestest friend that you've been sad with all the years when all the shit's happened in her life, I've been there. So I thought, I'm going to be there then. And I thought, that's fun, isn't it? Isn't that fun? I can squash some work stuff around that as well. And so that'll be fun. So that's me. I've got a busy week of kind of just finishing off some projects. What projects do you need to finish? I'm going to be finishing off things and doing creative things. They are my focuses this week. A bit of connection, focus 1 with my gorgeous friend, a bit of finishing off the creative things and being a bit more outside my comfort zone, a wee bit more creative, focusing on my knitting. That's going to be my big week. As well as I'm doing very well with my walking. I'm doing more steps. This is my goal. More steps every day than the day before. Try that. There you go. Not necessarily a number, just more than yesterday. That's all I'm doing. Keep it simple, keep it small. Getting fitter, that's my job. And sleeping more. So there you go. Whew, big week. Big week, not really. Isn't that funny though? But even when you don't have a huge amount of things on in your week, you can still be focused. So being focused, right, on all the things that you're going to be focused on this April. Kind of excited. Do like April, probably just because I like Easter, And I like the quote from today that says, nothing is particularly hard if you divide it into small jobs. That's what I've been doing with my sewing. Just divide it into small jobs. So you have a wonderful it's a short week. This is a small job this week. Have a wonderful week.